Today we'll be talking about the notes just above the passaggio and just below the high C. So these are the notes that tenors need like every day of their life. They've got constantly singing in this region, and you need to make it easy. Yeah, it needs to be good, it needs to be loud, it needs to sound beautiful and secure. We don't want any pushing or forcing or screaming in this area. Yeah, it's a tricky area to sing, and I'm going to give you the secret of how to do it without forcing, without pushing. Yeah. So rather than saying how you do it, I'm going to give you a few ideas of what you might be doing wrong to get in these notes. And the first thing you're probably doing to get these notes is pushing a bit too much weight up. Yeah. You might have got the passaggio worked out and the F sharp G worked out, but then something else has to happen to get into this region. And if you try and push up the weight that you found on the F sharp and G, it probably won't work. So let me just give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So I talked about the passaggio already, but I'll just give you a little recap. So on the note C up to E, we've got to basically get rid of all that heavy chest mechanism, ready to flip over at the F to falsetto dominant coordination. When I say falsetto dominant, I don't mean falsetto. It just means the falsetto register, the cricothyroid muscles need to take control at this area for you to have any chance of getting these high notes. Yeah, so just recap. Passaggio, we're trying to work out getting rid of this weight, so by the E needs to be ready to flip over. Yeah, if it's you're pushing too much weight there, you'll have more difficulty flipping over. So there I am. F, I've got into that passaggio dominant sensation. I've still got a lot of chest in it. Dominant just means 51%. I've still got 49% chest in. Yeah, I can't give absolute figures, but roughly speaking, yeah? But by the time we get to G sharp and A, that percentage has to really drastically reduce, yeah? F sharp and G. Feel pretty much the same, yeah? They're sort of dark. You have to darken these notes. This is the only area where you can't get full bright ringing sensation, yeah? So the F sharp and G need to be a bit darker. But then when we open out to the A flat, A, B flat, we've got to let that brightness back in, yeah? But not the brightness of the with the thick chest mechanism, yeah? We have to find a falsetto dominant, bright sound. It has to have the chest in, it has to have that chest sound, but without the weight that we've had before. But hopefully once you've done the you'll have got rid of quite a lot of that chest weight, but probably not all of it. Now this is a tricky bit, yeah, because it's possible to take that B flat, almost all the way, but you can't. That's the thing. You can get this thicker sound so far, and then it has to give way. To find a high C, you've got to be in what the Italians used to call the voce filato. And filato in Italian just means thread. So it's like a very thin thing. In German, they say schlank. Schlank just means thin, slim. Yeah? So we have to find a thinner mechanism, starting ideally from the A flat, at least by the A. Yeah? If you're not in it by the B flat, then there's no chance of getting your B and C. Really no chance, yeah? So, it's possible that even if you got the passaggio right, and the F sharp G working, you may still be trying to darken and push the notes above the G. And that's a mistake. And you need to let go of that sensation, yeah? That thicker sensation. Right, I'm going to stop there about that, because the next thing I'm going to talk about is coming off the high C, like trying to find a way down to those notes. Yeah? It's sensible actually to begin with when you're learning how to do these notes, to stop at G. Get the passaggio right. And F. Stop there with that mechanism. Yeah? We can then learn how to maybe go up to it later. But now we're going to talk about trying to find those notes coming down from the high C. Yeah? And it's something you might be doing wrong. Even if you get the high C right, it's possible you might be doing that wrong too. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So the second thing you could be doing wrong in trying to find these notes is bringing down that sensation of the high C and above down to these notes, yeah? This is a change. You can't sing with that zipped up feeling any lower, yeah? So you have to release. So I'll try and give you a little demonstration of how that would happen if you were to keep the zipped up feeling. It's not easy to do, but I'll try. So with this, I talked about the C having the zipped up, the squeaky sensation, yeah? So if you try that on the B, if you go down, it's not right. Yeah, the B, you have to sing up until the B, high B, the whole chord needs to vibrate. Once you get to C, it's fine, yeah, zip up and you vibrate the ends, and that's how you find the high voice, both for the high tenors and for the sopranos and altos. Yeah, so there's no way, you can't get a high C without the zipping up. Yeah, but the B has to be different. That zipping up has to unzip. Yeah, so if you try, you end up with a high larynx. Yeah, for some reason with the high C, it doesn't cause the larynx to go up with the zipped up sensation. But if you try and do it lower down, you'll lose the sort of the low larynx sensation we get from the falsetto ooh. Because let me show you. The other, actually I'll show you now quickly, but I'll just mention briefly, the third thing you could be doing wrong actually is going into the falsetto from the C. So, but that's not really a problem, it's not going to hurt you to do that. Yeah? Because that's natural, that's how we sing those notes. The B is, the falsetto is, that's the last pure note of the falsetto. Yeah, so B down. I told you before. That's a natural falsetto register. Yeah? So falsetto is actually in the middle of our voice. It's not, falsetto isn't high notes. Falsetto is the middle. Yeah? It's in the old manuscripts, they're very clear about the female voice being divided up into chest, falsetto, and head. I can't remember how they describe the high voice. But there's definitely three voices. In that middle voice, they talked about it being blurry and muddy, yeah, and without any natural brightness. Yeah, and that's right. That's how the voice works naturally, and so that's why it's so hard. These are the notes that will determine whether you're a great singer or not, because you have to try and find that register which is naturally blurry, naturally muddy, naturally dark, dull. We have to find brightness. We have to get brightness into there. And that's the trickiness. So we need to keep the larynx low with the the muddy, blurry, dark ooh sound in falsetto, and somehow get a bit of chest into that to bring brightness in. And it's so difficult to do. Yeah? And it's not something you can just, as they build up to, it's something that you'll find by accident once your registers develop. Yeah. So, the two things you might be doing wrong coming down, I've talked about the thing that you do wrong going up, too much weight. On the way down, it's almost like you have to add a bit of weight in a way. You don't want to have a you don't want that thin sound for the lower notes. The chords have to lengthen again. They have to fully open, and the whole length of vocal cord needs to vibrate, which isn't easy to do. So be careful, don't squeeze those notes. Don't try and squeeze that C sound down into the lower high notes. And I wouldn't say be careful about the falsetto, that's fine, because it's just naturally how the voice works. But in order to sing the theatre, we have to add chest there. So we have to somehow come off the C to the B without either squeezing it or releasing it too much, it goes into falsetto. We do need to release it because we need the chords to fully lengthen again and fully vibrate. But then we have to squeeze the chords together, but in that full sound. So with the B, so it's not easy to do. You've got to go from that squeaky sound to like a fuller sound, but don't go into the fuller thick sound. It's not so easy to do there. Once you've got your high C working, you'll probably find the correct sound for the B in the B flat. Yeah? So to recap, we said we have to work from the bottom and the top. We get the passaggio right, we thin out, aim to get the thinner sound on the G sharp. Yeah? So into the voce falsetto, ready to zip up on the high C. Yeah? Equally we can work downwards. You find that zipped up sound on the high C, and then you have to release that zipped up feeling without going into falsetto or without going to be too heavy. Yeah? And if you can get that, you can get a balance between all these three factors, you may just find yourself in that coordination, that sort of magic coordination where you don't have to push weight, the chords are thin, but there's plenty of resonance without too much push. So that's it. Keep developing the falsetto. Never stop working on the falsetto. Yeah, that needs to be developed for the rest of your life, because you'll be surprised how much stretch you can get. The more stretched out you can get that falsetto, the easier the access to these high notes will be. Yeah. So the work is done really in the register training. Just get the registers separate. Work on your chest, but don't take it too high. Do most of the work on the falsetto, and bit by bit, just like I've shown you on the other two high note videos, bit by bit change from the ooh, and eventually put the R in. I've already shown you how to do that, but go back to those other two high note videos. Yeah, so ooh, or, and eventually will bring in the full tone, the full sound. Even on the FF sharp and G, you should be able to get some but as I said before, those three notes are a little bit darker than the rest of the voice, and that's fine. That's how it works. So keep working at your falsetto, and then be careful you don't do these three mistakes: pushing too much weight up, or bringing too much thinness down, or breaking into falsetto, like I said. Yeah, and it will happen. One day you'll just be practicing on the falsetto, changing the vowels, and you'll suddenly feel something different. You'll feel, oh, what is that? It's not falsetto. Doesn't feel like chest. That's it. And that's it. It will happen just like that. And it'll be perfect. It'll just happen perfectly. You won't be able to recreate it so easily, and you may find the notes slipping around a bit. When you first get this mechanism working, it'll be hard. You're trying to sing an A flat, and it'll flip. Oof, you're suddenly singing an A or a B flat. But if you find that sense of flipping up, you know you're on the right track, because that's the higher coordination wanting to come in. It's drawing you away from that thick coordination into the voce falsetto. So don't reject that. If you feel like it flips up, don't worry about that. Keep going, and try almost to settle on that higher note, and just ask yourself, what am I doing with that high note? So I'm saying it will happen by accident, and then you have to analyze it and try and find it again. Okay, that's it. Good luck with that.